Today, I'm back with Meg movie numbers for you all. This is where we run down physical media by the numbers. First, we take a look at the top 20 selling 4K Ultra HD discs of a previous week, and I give you my thoughts and recommendations on every single title there. And then we get into the market share breakdown, which I'm super shocked by this week for all the percentages for DVD, Blu-ray, and 4Ks. These are the most shockingest numbers I've seen ever since doing these media report analysis. So, wow, can't wait to dissect that. And then, of course, we talk about the future of physical media, how our physical media sales doing overall, give some speculation, some educated guesses, and just have a great time talking the movies. So, if you love collecting physical media just like me and being a part of this amazing league of mega film fans, go ahead and mega smash that like and subscribe. That way, you stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics. And, of course, leave in the comments below what are your predictions for the top selling 4K discs of the week? And then, of course, what do you think of these outrageous market share breakdown percentages? Let's get into this list right here. Now, at the bottom, we got to have the Big Lebowski from Universal. So that's awesome. Now, I'm not a massive fan of this Coen movie. Some people absolutely love it. It's dark comedy. But I don't know. I just never been able to get into this one. But it's some people's favorite out there. Next up, we gotta have Scarface from Universal. Tony Montana. Scarface is excellent. I really like this crime genre. To me, it's one of the epic classic ones. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely really powerful and gets very wild by the end. Next up, we gotta have Jurassic Park from Universal. Universal just killing it here on this list. Jurassic Park is fantastic, of course. Just one of the best, Steven Spielberg movies of all time. Some amazing movie magic on there. So yeah, happy to see that one pop back up. And then we move on to Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Lucasfilm. That's that steelbook that was selling. I got it myself. I need to give it a rewatch. And yeah, it's decent for a Star Wars streaming show. Next up, we got Jaws from Universal. And of course, it's Jaws. Summer season, perfect shark movie to watch. It is the go to. So I really like this one. Next up, we got Dunkirk from Warner. What the heck? Dunkirk is back on this list. It is outrageous out there. What is going on? I know Dunkirk has its fans, and I can appreciate that. But Dunkirk is just not the movie for me. So hopefully people got that one on a super cheap deal. All right, next up, we got Edge of Tomorrow from Warner, and I really like Edge of Tomorrow. Sci-fi action war epicness with Tom Cruise. You can't go wrong with that one. Next up, we got The Shining from Warner. That's a pretty decent horror movie out there. Good classic one. Next up, we got Inglorious Bastards from Universal, and I do like that one. That's a Quentin Tarantino film. And then after that, we got Barbie from Warner. Barbie, of course, the big box office hit of the year. A lot of people seem to love that one, even though it wasn't my cup of tea. Next up, we got Mad Max Fury Road. That makes sense because Furiosa just came out. You want to see Furiosa, you're going to watch Fury Road again. Totally connects. So, like to see that one selling. Next up, we got Blade Runner 2049 from Warner. This one always pops up on the list from time to time. So, yeah, happy to see it there. Next up, we got The Thing from Universal, one of my favorite John Carpenter movies out there, just so mysterious and arctic. I love it. Next up, we got a new one finally. All the rest were old titles, but we got a new one finally with American Sniper from Warner. And I really like this one. This is a really good, solid war genre movie. Bradley Cooper in the role is amazing. So I highly recommend that one if you're into that genre. Next up, we got The Crow. That kind of dropped a little bit right there from Paramount. But The Crow is an awesome kind of comic book style movie, dark revenge story, got that Punisher feel to it all. So I need to give this one a rewatch. I have to pick up the 4K eventually. But yeah, The Crow is awesome. Next up, we got a new one here, at least another new one finally. We got Dune, two film collection from Warner. So apparently you get Dune 1 and 2 in this one. I probably should have waited for this one instead of getting part 1 by itself. I knew they were going to be together at some point, but now I got to get the regular Dune part 2 to complete it. But there we go. At least it's a new one. Next up after that, we got Dune Part 1 from Warner outselling the Dune 2 film collection. That's really interesting. It's like if you don't have Part 1, wouldn't you just get the Dune 2 film collection? I guess not. People like them separated on the shelf, so you get Dune 1, get Dune 2, and just have them next to each other. Okay, I guess go for it. All right, next up, we got some new titles, at the top. So I'd love to see that. So New one here with Once Upon a Time in the West from Paramount. That was that nice Paramount Presents line. It looked really cool. It looks to be a great classic Western. I've never seen it before, but I've always been curious. Now, the next one after that, new one here. I love to see this one selling so well. Killer Clowns from Outer Space from Shout Studios, MGM, and I absolutely love this movie. It's B cheese horror cult classic, but I love the way these killer clowns look. Just so very colorful, great whimsical music. I got the steelbook myself, and I thought it was one of the best steelbook designs I've ever seen with the cotton candy on there. It's just so silly and fun. Happy to see that a lot of people picked that one up. It looks to be a crowd pleaser, which you normally wouldn't expect that from Killer Clowns. And then our number one new title, if you predicted this, let me know if you were successful in your number one prediction here of Dune Part 2 from Warner. No surprise there. Dune Part 2 is like the hottest movie of this year, right? We haven't had a lot of bangers at the box office, but Dune Part 2 actually did pretty well. I thought it was epic on the big screen. I do want to pick up that Part 2 eventually to have it next to my Part 1. And yeah, it's fun sci fi action and yeah, really good story there. I do appreciate the second one. I think it picked up more than the first one, a lot better paced, in my opinion. But wow, there we go. That is, of course, our top 20 selling 4K Ultra HD discs of a previous week. Now, it's pretty cool to see these studios like Warner and Universal just knocking it out of the park there, which I don't know what's going on with them, if they were having a sale on Groove maybe, or other discounts over on other websites, maybe Amazon. But I bet you a lot of these old classic titles were discounted. That's probably why they were selling so much. But that is awesome to see those come back. And you also had a mixture of new towards the top with like Killer Clowns and Dune Part 2. So I was happy to see that as well. So a healthy mix there. And you know what? Not a lot of other studios on there. We don't see BBC studios anymore on there. We don't see Disney too much on there. And so this was definitely a week for Warner and Universal. So kudos to them. But now let's get into the market share breakdown. And like I said, I'm super shocked by these numbers. These are the most wild these numbers have ever been since I've been doing this research. I mean, these numbers for all the different disc formats are completely wildly different. I would have never predicted this. I would have never guessed this. It's oh my goodness, what is happening here? But let's take a look at it. We got 4Ks now at over 35%. Oh my gosh. And it's not like last week before that, it was close to that. No, not even close at all. It was like 18% last week, and now it's almost double that. What the heck happened there? Is that like the Dune Part 2 effect? Did Killer Clowns really sell that much? Were there just great sales on 4Ks from Universal and Warner in there that people just wanted to swoop in on the ultra high definition format finally? Maybe a combination of everything there, but I'm pretty blown away by that number there just for 4Ks. But now let's take a look at Blu-rays. Let's double take. Okay, so Blu-rays went up about 6 or so percent, which is still good. I love to see Blu-rays getting closer to that 30% marker. So normally if 4Ks did that well, you would have thought Blu-rays would have stayed the same or would have dropped quite a bit. But to see Blu-rays do better and then 4Ks do a lot better, it's just outrageous. That means that DVDs had to have dropped quite a bit. So let's double take a look on this number. Woo! DVDs under 40%. 40%. I never thought I would see this. I'm just happy if DVDs are about 50% because I still want to see DVDs selling. It's still the king, it's still the popular format out there. And I'm okay with it being around 50%, but now it's under 40%. Are more people jumping on the Blu-ray and 4K train? I mean, oh my goodness, what is going on? These DVDs are not selling as much as they were for that week. Oh my goodness. But wow, to see them drop, I mean, more than 20 or so percent, and then 4Ks to pick up the slack there. Oh my gosh. I don't know how to even explain all of this right here. You guys will probably let me know that in the comments below. But I guess times are a change in here for the disc formats and how they're selling. And like I said, I didn't think it was that many new hot titles that came out to 4K, but I guess just a few of the really popular ones were able to do it. And that is outstanding. So happy to see all these disc formats selling. You still get to choose what your favorite disc format is out of all these. All these options are still plentiful available because it's not like either one was selling only a few percent. They all have healthy marks. So there you go. Enjoy what you enjoy with that one. But now let's go ahead and talk about the future, How are physical media sales doing overall? Where is it going next? Now, I do think physical media sales are still in a constant decline from year to year, just because I think movie fandom is in a constant decline. Unfortunately, I mean, the box office isn't doing great at the theaters. I don't think people are switching over to picking up the physical disc. I think people are just kind of trapped in the streaming cycle where they feel they have a bottomless pit of content for one low monthly price, and they're just content with whatever a studio gives them on there. And that's it. They don't ask any questions. They don't think back to other movies like, hey, I want that movie. It's not available. How do I get that one? It's just whatever Netflix pops in front of their face, top 10 of the week. That's what they're watching, whether it's good or not good. Rather than not, usually it's not the best. But yeah, there we go. That is just the cycle we are in right now for movie fandom out there. Of course, we still have our niche market of collectors, people that love movies, people that want to own movies, have something tangible out there. And that's going to keep going for, some decades, I believe. I think people will always be able to collect at least online. Now, will movie theaters always exist? That is another debate to have there. I think movie theaters are definitely on the ropes, and I could see movie theaters, the majority of them, disappearing within 5 to 10 years. Now, it's not going to be all of them. There'll still be some in New York and LA and the big movie markets, but I don't think movie theater going will be the staple thing anymore. But hey, at least as collectors, we can still get these movies on disc, have them on our shelves, and still have a great time with movies that way, and we get more of a choice of what we want to watch than being just sucked into whatever streaming provides us. So there's that option for us collectors. But that's what I think these numbers are telling me this week, of course. And yeah, hopefully, like I said, just the movie amazingness picks up sometime. I feel like maybe with Deadpool and Wolverine, things will change around movie fandom, and maybe we'll get a little bit of a boost later in the summer. That's our last hope, love. That's our last hope for a movie fandom out there. But there we go. You guys got to let me know now in the comments below. What do you think the market share numbers mean? I mean, the 4Ks were just outrageous, weren't they? What do you think was the key ingredient to help ultra high definition sell that much more? And then, of course, were you shocked by any of the top selling 4Ks? Were you shocked by Warner and Universal just doing amazing this week out there? And how do you think physical media sales are doing overall? Where do you think movies go next? How is it going to change this movie scene landscape in the next 5, 10 years? Let's have those fun movie conversations down below. Just have a great day talking and watching the movies. And of course, if you haven't already, mega smash that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all future physical media numbers, because we got to keep a look on this. I want to see how it changes next week and if the 4K stay consistent or have a massive drop. And that's going to be super fun. And of course, you love this physical media topic, mega smash the next video right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.